In 1976, German symphonic hard rockers were taking their epic song ambitions to new heights on their sixth studio album, Backdoor Possibilities. And from that album, the 8.5 minute three-parter, BDPS. I'm not sure what that title means, I'll find out. A quick Google search of that word brings up matches to this album primarily and the lyrics to this track.
The scents are running out slowly.
A very different voice now. Is that our usual guy doing spoken? The vocalist of the band was Bernd Noske, the drummer and lead vocalist. But I'm wondering, is this him doing a?
As he runs along the living crowded street.
I'm thinking either that's one of the other members or that's just the way he sounds when he's speaking.
He's just like a house on fire.
I hear that bass line, the way it's interacting with those spine-tingling guitars and
magnetized by the old mansion on the hill.
Those diamondy keyboard sustains. It's kind of like glistening notes in the way they just stretch out and kind of have that airy sustain to them.
It seems somebody's waiting there for him. Looks like a movie house.
Kind of oozing string notes, and yeah, the bass just kind of smoothly driving along.
We want to see the show, to tell him what could be.
I'm trying to think, that's either Nossi or it could be Bruno Frenzel or Zeus B, or even Peter Föller. The other members, they all are credited on vocals and just
lights out and by and unseen.
Because Nossi generally as a vocalist tends to have kind of a John Lawton type quality to his vocals, a real belter.
His face appears on the screen.
Hear all that percussion going on. Yeah, Nossi is giving us, sounds like some marimba. Yeah.
First blood, then clearly now's a film of love will show what you never realized until you got your call. Life is just a lucky chance, as long as you take time to take care of your soul.
Okay, let's catch up with the lyrics here. Now the sands are running out slowly as he runs along the living crowded street. He's just like a house on fire, magnetized by the old mansion on the hill. It seems somebody's waiting there for him. Looks like a movie house. He'll be the only one to see the show, to tell him what could be. Lights are dimmed by hands unseen. His face appears on the screen. This is like a dream, or like a nightmare, really. First blurred, then clearly. Now the film of life will show what you never realized. I wonder what inspired this. Until you got your call, life is just a lucky chance, as long as you take time to take care of your soul. It seems like it was inspired by a 1920s by a silent movie or something. Already I'm thinking of like Un Chien Andalou, or maybe like some film by Maya Deren. Everything has like this really kind of airy, cushiony, open cadence feel, but really like there's a sense of foreboding going on, like something's about to occur, like. Speak of the devil. Look at that clavinet. Kind of like sounds like an enveloped clavinet because it's kind of like has a type sound. Okay, we've got that really driving, persistent drum beat, but you can easily hear the separation between like clavinet, kind of funky clavinet, that bass line, that kind of fluid bass line that we've been hearing throughout pretty much. Now just a little bit tighter, and some really kind of like thin, kind of. Subtle guitar lines. Guitar lines that kind of had like this crying kind of like quality, just sort of low in the mix, kind of wailing. Yes, it really can remember. And now we have the very characteristic vocals of Bernd Noske. A real belting command. Hear those like kind of rising, swelling synthesizers. Passages like this were quite characteristic of like the best moments of Birth Control during this period, where they plunge into these low chords with like some kind of dropped note in it, and then they throw in those kind of like jerky bars. This is like the most avant-garde they ever got. They actually, it's rare for them to get that like that quirky and just start like making the body like make those spastic motions to keep up. Let's see. We're in part 2, obviously now. According to the lyric sheet, the lyric sheet has it divided into 2 parts, but there are 3 titles. Basically, there's the title's divided into Beedeepees, the main, I guess, / childhood, flashback / legal labyrinth. Let's pick up where I left off reading the lyrics. Okay, first there is a scene from his childhood. Okay, yeah, that would correspond to childhood flashback part 2. Then his face covered with measles everywhere. Yes, he really can remember. Lightly off, barely escaping polio. Oh, going through, yeah, either diseases that people have like during childhood, like measles, or diseases that people were quite common, like during the 1950s and beforehand, like polio. Something that was like pretty much all but eradicated by the time I came along. That happened when he was a little boy, but he could see it now. Talk of the devil and he will appear to tell you what might be. Film fate of him, you or me. The backdoor possibility. First blurred, then clearly, as the film of life goes on, you can see acts you've played but did not realize. Slowly it is touch and go with our lives sometimes, but we don't think of it. These lyrics are very fragmentary. They throw out kind of images that are somewhat vague, somewhat evocative. Some of them are quite evocative. Some of the lines are quite evocative anyway. It's not trying to be too directive exactly what it's about. I think this is just about a person, an adult from a 70s era adult looking upon youth, looking back upon nightmarish moments of youth as though flashbacks in a cut and paste movie montage. Of course, for I don't know, of an adult like in their late 20s or early 30s, during the mid 1970s, youth, childhood would be like the late 40s, early 50s, an era of black and white film and rampant diseases like polio and such. Yeah, I think that's what it's getting at. It's getting at the health afflictions of like the 1940s and 1950s. Yeah, as seen in like a horrific movie film montage and like all the ghastly photos of victims of those afflictions. I really like how this band has kind of like married their earlier kind of like Uriah Heep, Deep Purple type of like organ, elevated hard rock with more of kind of like a psychedelic fractious, like they're taking much more liberties with just moments of pure sonic chants here, and also like rhythmic vulgarity. Someone came, his name was Mr. Skeleton. He said you've been a bureaucratic man without the human brain. Oh, I love those sounds on the keyboards. Let's see, they're playing quite a lot of instruments on this. Let's read the instrumental credits. Zeus B plays organ, grand piano, Moog, alto saxophone, bells, and he also arranged. They're all credited with arrangement. And they're all credited with arrangement and production. It's like a real band effort, along with David Hitchcock at the console and Conrad Plank, the recording engineer. Yeah. So this is quite the German recording extravaganza we got going on. I'll read some other credits as we go along. Oh, that cutting, slicing guitar bridge right there, that moment, yeah, no, over those really kind of choppy, like jerky, kind of like syncopated bars. I have got to say though, if there's one star instrumentalist throughout this whole thing that's really just stolen the show this whole time, it's the bassist. The way his fluid runs just kind of drive along the structure. Yeah, Peter Föller, electric bass. That's his only instrument, and I guess that's since he's provided so much of the urgency. I guess that's credit enough. Hear all these rolls that Noske is throwing in. Just imagine he's singing, he's belting it out like a true like belter, like up in the like husky voiced greats of the day, and yet he's also giving us all those rolls, all those like big crash boom bang like tom fills. I wonder, they did do a really good live album of extended material, but I have got to go watch some live performances of them from this era because it's just hard to imagine drumming and singing with equal with the kind of intensity we're hearing in both departments being done by the same person at the same time. Oh, I love these parts where they're going into different kind of like spacier territory and kind of more arcane chordal progressions. I think I'm hearing some tritones in here. I'm hearing some really kind of demented melodic sequences. Hear the way that bass was interacting with that. It's almost like they were playing two completely unrelated things and just kind of like duking it out, the keyboard and the bass. Oh, great, like staccato bass line interacting with some really fluid, like high fret runs on the guitar and that slashing icy organ cutting in at select moments. Icy sustains. Now we're in for more kind of, well, we're hearing the sound of children, so this could be another flashback. It's moments like this, these kind of icy dropout sustains, like keyboard sustain moments, like rhythmless passages with kind of like eerie sounds going on where you just sense some, like a certain foreboding, like something traumatic is about to occur. You hear those like little kind of sparkly sounds. We're hearing quite a few things from Noske's percussion ensemble. Yeah, he plays drums, marimba, timpani, finger cymbals, guiro, congas. Yeah, the guiro Spanish instrument consisting of an open-ended hollow gourd. Do you hear that twirly sound? Sound like a flexaton. Oh, like echoey kind of nightmare overlapping vocals. Kind of like apparitions. I feel like there's something really demented about the key center. It's almost like there's like one instrument seems to be playing. It seems like there's kind of like this D tonality that's reverberating from somewhere, and at the same time, there's like an A flat tonality. You know, two notes that are as far apart as you can get. I'm hearing that. I also like D. This is kind of reminding me a little bit of the knife as it's working out of the kind of sinister, slow kind of dropout passage and regaining its structure kind of in the penultimate section. Yeah, the knife parallel holds because it went through that pensive kind of like dropout section, and then it really picks up speed again and starts to really roll and get more aggressive. Turning into a real instrumental jam. Obviously, Noske is doing a few overdubs because I'm hearing several of the percussions listed by his name, as well as like some really quite estimable drum rolls. Must give a hand. Did I mention Bruno Frenzel, electric guitar, acoustic guitar on this album? That's is that the extent of the detail I'm given? Let's see. On Discogs, by Noske's name, did I mention the Cabasa, the Idiophone? Oh yeah, the Flexiton. Yeah, that I just mentioned. Yeah, he does play that. And he also plays the vibra-slap on that album. I can't say I heard the vibra-slap, but I did hear the Flexiton. Ever so briefly, just like once. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Zeus B held, he plays, of the organs, he plays Hammond and Yamaha. And he also plays a Fender and a Hohner electric piano on this album, not necessarily all on this track. He plays a Moog and an ARP synthesizer, so we may have heard some of these may have been the origins of some of the sounds that we were hearing. He also plays grand piano, alto. God, these guys each of them have such big arsenals. And elsewhere he plays alto sax, bells, grand piano, but primarily keyboards and plus sax. And so all of that he would have held. And so yeah, Bernard Noske is responsible for all the percussion that we've been hearing. And let's see, Peter Föller plays a Fender and a Rickenbacker bass. Rickenbackers are known for that real trebly sound. Back to Bruno Frenzel. Yeah, they just describe his instrumentation as electric and acoustic guitar. They don't give us any maker model there. It's too bad these credit lists, they never actually list the effects pedals that the guitarist uses, because that can be really important. That makes a big difference in how a guitar might sound. Just running away with it, on the final part of it anyway. I didn't even finish the lyrics, for what it's worth. Let's see. They're so long. Okay. When that strange performance was over, someone came. His name was Mr. Skeleton. He said, "You've been a bureaucratic man without a human trait. You have to die as your life's meaningless, your own fault, so listen. I'll do a special with you 'cause your train is long overdue. You will be surrendered to the closed mesh nets of law. They always find a reason to put out a soul. Maybe health and life depend on the regime you're in and on your attitude." So one guy has made it to middle adulthood, so it seems, but according to someone else, he's lived a life of corruption and now must meet his end. So a guy who outlived some of his peers who supposedly succumbed to diseases in childhood, which were incurable at the time. while he went on to have a successful life, I guess at the expense of others. Our hero's lost himself in a maze. He comes forward to a trial, not knowing how or why. He is the accused right there in the dock. Jury talks about him in terms he never heard. No speech for defense, no protest at all. The judge did not dilly-dally, sent him to the wall. Is it still a firm or reality? Strivers lost the thread, not knowing that's his BDP. So that's supposed. Strivers lost the thread. Is it still a film or reality? Strivers lost the thread. I guess study these lyrics a bit longer, spend a bit more time mulling over the lines, and I guess it all leads up to the definition of the title. I suppose that scholars of this track know what that word means exactly. Lost not knowing where or what he's passing by, he has had his chips, they're tasting weird, smell the air of strange incense which fills the hall. Why? Can't Mr. Striver perceive the backdoor possibility? I guess, I imagine Mr. Striver maybe should be capitalized. It's not on this lyric sheet, but yeah, this transcription provided by cancioneros.com. Letras, todas las letras de canciones. It's a Spanish site that posts song lyrics. I've never been to this site before. I just discovered it by chance when I Googled the title. Yeah, so the so far the interpretation I've come up with the song is the best I can do, I guess, at this point, without taking another half hour, just delving in and studying line by line a bit more. So if you're a scholar of this track, yeah, please share us your interpretations, or if you've seen interview quotes and you're a bit more studied in the tracks and its lyrics, yeah, let us know. Anyway, that was Birth Control from their 1976 album Backdoor Possibilities, their 6th studio album and their 7th overall when you count their live album. Yeah, the track Beedeepees, a 3-parter consisting of the subtitles Beedeepees, Childhood Flashback, and Legal Labyrinth. Yes. For more Rubies and Sapphires from the catalog of Birth Control, see the directory of albums by German artists linked in the description below. For Red Hot Tracks and Purples from the entire Birth Control catalog up through from 1970 up through 1982, as well as many other German acts, similar and different, like Lucifer's Friend, Eloy, Grabschnitt, yeah, Thirsty Moon, Sahara, yeah, Embryo, the list goes on and on and on. Over 1,100 albums currently on that directory. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the track, its layers, its instrumentation, the nuances, the passages, the choice of chord sequences and odd meters and such. Yeah, what passages stood out to you? And once again, the lyrics, if you know what they mean, if you interpret them in a different way than I do, or if you know something that I apparently don't know about them. Yes, and until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air-traveled trimaximist, signing off.